But yeah, manifestation truly is just about becoming who you truly are meant to be without all the shackles and restrictions of certain ideologies and self-doubting beliefs that were programmed into you by entities other than yourself when you were too young to know better or too young to put up proper defenses against it. Unless you happen to be in one of the 0.0001% group of people that are lucky enough to actually have parents that were attuned to all of this beforehand, to where they were the ones that stepped in to protect you and equip you as best they could, spiritually, mentally, physically. Most people are not lucky enough to have parents that were operating on all cylinders like that. Granted, it doesn't mean that your parents were bad people. They may have been trying their best. It doesn't mean that they didn't love you with all of their heart, but most people's parents were just like throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks, just like everyone else. They didn't know what they were doing when they were raising us. So that's like 99% of the work, honestly, cut out for you when you become an adult, is to undo all of the limiting beliefs and the self-doubts and the expectations from others that were placed onto you, that you adopted as your own expectations of yourself, or like goals that were placed onto you that you adopted as your own because you didn't know any better when you were younger. But then when you become an adult, you realize that you actually had and always had a choice and a say in the matter. But what happens to a lot of people is that by that point, they're so stuck and they're so locked in mentally that they feel as though it's just a really big hurdle for them to, go against the grain of what they've known their entire lives, or what's been expected of them their entire lives. It feels like they're pulling the rug beneath their own feet. But if you're really committed to living your best life as your truest and highest self, that's a journey that you have to commit to going on. You have to keep going, ladies. When life knocks you down, when your period cramps knock you down, take the time to rest, give yourself that grace, definitely. But when it's over, when you're recovered, you gotta get up and get right back in the game. Get back in the ring, because the time is gonna pass anyway. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, when you look back, you're going to thank your younger self. I'm telling you. Because the thing about compounded effort over time is that no matter how small the increments of your success are, no matter how slowly of a pace you go, as long as you continue to put one foot in front of the other and push yourself every single day, you will end up further than where you started, especially in 1, 5, 10 years time. When you look back, there's going to be a road for you to look back on, even if you only took one step per day. And I don't care how slow of a pace that you perceive you're moving at least you'll still be making progress, and you're going to be in a better position than somebody that stubbornly just stayed in place or just threw up their hands and was like, what's the point of even trying, I feel like maybe it's really just finally starting to clock to me that every extra dollar or yen that I spend today is like a yen that I could have potentially put into a compound savings account that would have been able to buy me my freedom earlier, right? So the more I spend today, the more I'm going to be indebted and enslaved to just keep working forever until I die in the future. And now I finally get it. All of that financial advice, all of the advice that the financial gurus have been screaming at us, the corny advice like, oh, instead of thinking about things in dollar amounts or yen amounts, think about how many hours you would have to work to afford any item. And like that should be enough to deter you from overspending. I'm sure we all listened to that and brushed it off at some point. But now that I'm like 2 months away from turning 37, which is not old or anything. I'm actually loving my 30s. It's the best decade so far. I think 30s are lit, and I'm sure that the 40s are going to be even more lit. But it's really just like starting to sink in that I don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck forever. Okay, even if I have to do certain things for the time being, whatever, pick up extra shifts, give up my weekends to work the Dubai, Tokyo seminar circuit. Oh my God, I still have to update you guys about that. It's like, yeah, whatever. I'll ignore my reality. I will ignore the fact that I'm actually working and just collect the money in the meantime while I go through the motions, right? That's a good tactic for the time being. But in the future, like 5, 10, 20 years from now, I don't want to be in the same position. Okay, corporate 9 to 5 until I die? I think not. Like I will literally have to learn how to flip houses or something before it comes to that. So anyway, what am I trying to say? Yeah, it's just a heightened sense of urgency that I have these days around saving money and saving for my future, things like that. which has also led me to be more ruthless when it comes to declining people's invitations. Like anyone that, okay guys, this is my channel, right? And you guys are my people, so you're not gonna judge me for what I say, right? In fact, most of you I think can relate, so I'm just gonna say it without any filter. Most people, like 99.99% of people, I have zero interest whatsoever in fraternizing with them, especially if it involves activities that require me to put up even a small part of my funds, anything above like 500 yen, okay? Or even that, if it involves time, I'm not interested, because there's nothing that they can do for me. Like 99% of the people around me don't have the results that I want in my own life. So therefore, why would I want to spend any time with them? It's not even that they don't have the desired results that I want, because truth be told, to be fair, there's only a very few select people in this world who actually are like, I can see real tangible proof that they're either on the path or they've already arrived at the destination that I personally want to be at in 10, 20 years time. But even aside from that, their mindsets alone, 99% of people are so far behind mine. They're so far removed from the way that I think about life and from what I value that there's just nothing that you could possibly add to my life. That's literally what I think. Whenever people are, trying to be nice or trying to reach out to catch up over a coffee or whatever, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry if this sounds arrogant, but I just can't help thinking to myself that might be great for you, right? Because if you hang out with me, I'm going to provide you, like, you're going to be entertained by my updates and my life and whatnot, even though I don't feel like I'm even doing anything particularly interesting. I've been living a very, very quiet, very off the books life so far in 2026. The one place that I've been pouring most of my energy into is my social media, right? But even that, like, to be honest, I'm not operating at full capacity just because, like, I'm taking time to heal and everything and to prioritize my self-care. But aside from social media, I really don't put myself out there. I have not been putting myself out there in 2026, but that's my point. Like, it's not worth it for me to do so. Most people, they don't give me a compelling reason at all to invest any of my time or my energy into them. So it's like, yeah, if we meet up or if we go to dinner or whatever, you're going to be entertained by me. You're going to benefit from, my advice or my elevated mindset. But what could I possibly gain from you? Even if they were to pick up the tab or like treat me to a meal, to the drink every single time, that still is not worth it to me, because I'm still expending too much of my time and energy even just getting to the place. Okay, then I gotta spend several hours with their ass. Then I gotta listen to their basic ass problems about their 50-50 boyfriend or, I don't know, their work drama that I could not give two shits about. See, when I come on here to talk shit about people with you guys, it's always so that we can glean certain lessons from my life, okay? That's the difference between me and other people. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm gonna die on that hill. But no, in all seriousness though, like, no offense, again, this is nothing personal. There's just nothing that 99% of people can offer me or contribute to my life for me to deign to spend even an extra moment of my time on them. Like, my free time, my precious limited resource of free time, and you want me to spend it with you willingly? I don't think so. I think I'm gonna pass.